as women, especially in that athletic field, just go through so much and we're just so resilient. So this is why we here. But I'm so excited. I have an amazing guest, man. She's been doing some amazing things. How are you feeling today, Jasmine?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm super blessed. I can't complain at all. I'm happy to be a part of this. Thanks for
I
having me.
love it. No, thank you. Thank you for blessing us with your presence on here. And I tell people all the time, they like, man, you just jumped in it. Yes, I'm going to jump right into it.
All right.
I'm one of those ones that's detailed in like the search. One of your quotes, less force, more flow.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Man, so I think that was kind of my mantra like a couple years ago, and it's kind of just
Hmm.
stuck with me. Um, a lot of times, especially as women, a lot of times we like to force things a little bit, and stuff ain't going the way we wanted to go. We're gonna try to make it go our way, and it's some different things just personally I was going through that I had to remind myself that hey, just take your hands off of it a little bit, let God do his thing, and less force and more flow, like more flow, because once we really put everything in God's hands, things really do just flow. And we don't really
Definitely.
got to stress or worry too much about a lot of things. So that's kind of been a staple mantra that I kind of keep in my
Yeah.
mental to kind of to remind me. Sometimes when I'm don't feel like I'm doing too much, or like I'm trying to control every little detail about things, I have to remind myself, hey, just relax a little bit, trust God, and let's flow. Let's force more flow in all
Most
things,
definitely.
all
All
aspects.
things. I
Yeah,
love it. When I seen it, I was like, oh yes, I gotta get that.
yeah,
And it's so unique because it hit me in the midst of me just doing things of what I'm doing now.
yeah,
Initially being a former collegiate player and also coach, it's like at this time I seen so much need for the mental part
mhm,
for female athletes and just with coaches too, because we're so left out of the barriers that happen with coaches. And I was in that midst, like I want to do it, I don't want to do it, I need to do it. And I was like, okay, Lord, just have your way. And
yeah.
then when I read that, I was like, let's just let it flow.
Let it flow.
Because behind doors, people just don't know what coaches go through, especially female coaches.
Yeah, it's a lot, man. It's even on this high school level.
Yeah,
I did coach 4 years Division 1 as an assistant basketball coach, and that entails a lot in itself because it's like 365 when you're on that collegiate level.
definitely.
But even on the high school level, as the head, it's so much that goes on behind closed doors that nobody even knows. Little small tasks that we
Right.
have to take care of, but it ends up adding up over time. You wearing
Definitely.
yourself out. So yeah, it's just a lot, man. It's a lot. So learning how to balance that, learning how like not to
Mm,
worry too much about certain things, especially that you don't have no control over it, like other people. And it kind of helps a lot. So that's something that I've been really. I feel like God has been like forcing me to learn these past few years, and definitely like just this past year. So
wow. I
yeah,
love it because you're at Bob Jones.
Bob Jones.
Big school, 7A. So a lot of people don't understand that coaching aspect is more students, which means more work, like you were saying. So kind of tell us, how did you transition into get into Bob Jones? Like how did all that happen? Because I know you was here in Birmingham for a minute.
Yeah, I was. I played ball at Sanford University, and then once I
Okay.
graduated, I became an assistant coach full time. So that was just a big blessing in itself.
Yeah.
Right after graduating college, and just my coach wanting me to be a part of his staff. So it's kind of crazy. If we got some time, I want to kind of give you the backstory.
That's what we here for. That's what we here because we want to make sure not only coaches but the athletes can hear the journey and take this in. So yeah, we here.
Man, so like I said, after I graduated college, my coach hired me as a full-time assistant coach. And I did it for 3 years. And I
Okay.
could have started my master's that first year, which because they was completely paid for. But I waited. I wanted to take a break from school and just focus on my new job. But that third year I finally started my master's, right? And one of my classes, I ended up meeting this guy who had just become the athletic director at a small 1A school, Cornerstone High School in Birmingham. And
Okay. Yeah.
he ended up basically offering me a job, offering me that girl's job. And at that time, it was only going to be their second year opening that high school. So um, I knew I always wanted to coach, but I never wanted to coach high school. I never wanted to deal with kids.
Wow.
Crazy, right? But like I said, once I started my master's degree that third year, and I just started thinking about it. I visited the school. I don't know. I just felt like that's where God was calling me to, right? So I
Okay.
stepped out on faith. I took that position, and I did it for a year, and it was a lot of ups and downs, but I really enjoyed it. I really felt like I was in my purpose. And after that first year, my college coach contacted me again and offered me the top assistant job back at Sanford. And
Wow.
in my mind, I'm thinking, man, this is I can't pass this up. It's a top Division 1 assistant role. On my resume, if I ever wanted to go back to high school, I mean, who can turn me down with all this experience that I'm getting on the
Definitely.
college level? So, and it was more money, all of that. So I kind of, even though I loved and felt in purpose what I was doing at Cornerstone, I kind of let the logistics side of it outweigh that, and I went back to college, right? And I'm not gonna say I was miserable, but it was a very, very tough year for me being back on.
Mm.
So after that, that first year back, I got offered another big time high school opportunity at Homewood High School, and I took it. I wanted to be back on.
Definitely.
I missed that platform I had with just young athletes, young girls, just trying to
Okay.
help them grow on and off the court. And I just kind of felt like that was the lane for me. So I kind of went back and I did that for 2 years, and then didn't have any plans on leaving Birmingham, to be honest with you. I had just bought a condo um, after my second year, and I got a call from a couple people about Bob Jones, and just kind of wanted to hear them out. I came up here, I met with the AD, I met with the head principal, and
Wow.
man, it just they ended up offering me a job that day, and I honestly I couldn't. I felt like it was the right time. All of my family's here.
Got it.
Um, I'm closer to family, closer to just friends, and since I made that decision, things have been great for me. It hasn't been the easiest journey as far as this coaching thing, but like overall
Hmm.
balance, it's been great. My husband and I at the time, started dating and got serious. So we got married last year. Like I said, I've been around.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I've been around
Yes.
family a lot more. So even though it's been definitely a tall task just coaching and trying to rebuild a really good program, because when I was young,
Hmm.
Bob Jones was up here. It was a really top program in the state. But
Definitely.
when I took this job back in 2019, it was kind of at the bottom. It was like a rebuilding process, and everyone knows when you're having to rebuild, it takes some time. So
Hmm.
a lot of hard work, a lot of effort, a lot of long days, long nights, and I'm glad to see where the program is now. I really do feel like we're heading in that right direction.
I love it. I love it. On like you said, definitely a long journey. Everything takes a journey if you're going to get there. So many people are trying to run, but
Mm,
sometimes you just got to walk and you got to take in what God is allowing you to see along that journey and gain that information. And I
right.
know in the midst you said that it was kind of like miserable. Can you go back to that at Sanford? Like, can you talk about some of those things that was just like, yeah, it was time for me to transition?
Yeah, it's almost like it was a big life lesson. I feel like God was teaching me through that opportunity, because it was a great opportunity. I'm around great people. I'm able to help girls that are like early 20s, 18, 19, on this college level. But it really did feel like something was missing after what I experienced
Hmm.
at Cornerstone. At
Okay.
Cornerstone, I was the head coach. I had all of these younger girls looking up to me, hanging on to every word. I'm able to, really kind of help mold them for this next stage of life. And
Mhm.
it just kind of like felt a lot more purposeful for me, in a college. And also I was able to tap into some other things, some other desires and things that I have, like photography and different things of that nature. So on a collegiate level, you really you're busy, and then, like I said,
Right.
it does feel like it's 365. So I really didn't have a whole lot of time just like for other personal things that I
Mm.
um a lot of traveling, it was just I don't want to use the word miserable. I just want to say it was definitely a challenge for me to
Right.
enjoy it, even though I was making more money, even though I had
Mhm.
this big title, it just wasn't as purposeful as much as the high
Yeah.
school level.
No, I love it. I love that you say that purposeful. And if anything else, I want you guys to take away from that is making sure you do something that has purpose for you.
Mhm.
Everybody's going to come to you and tell you can do good here, you can do that. That's as coaches and players. This school may be great for you. This area, you got to do what your purpose and your heart feel. And
Yeah.
like many people, with me, certain things that I transitioned from, even though the money may have been less, I still had more.
Yes.
And people don't understand that. So like you said, now you was able to do a lot more things. What are some things now that you've implemented in your life? I heard photography and I love that, so tell us about that, of why you took up photography.
So, just even as a kid, I always had an interest in like capturing moments. I always had a little camera with me, even throughout college. So when I did have a lot more free time, being at Cornerstone, I bought a camera. I invested in a nice camera, and then it really just took off from there. So,
Hmm.
I do a lot of like portrait shoots. I've done street photography. I've had some of my work published in a magazine before, but I just
Stop
it's kind of
playing, y'all heard it.
it kind of like helps me tap into just my creative side. Like
Yeah.
like I said, it's a lot of creative things that I really like to do. I
Hmm.
write
Hmm.
poetry. I'm working on a poetry ebook right now. Um, having more time just coaching on a high school level, I'm able to, you know, I just picked up pickleball. Like
Oh
I've
yeah, I've
never
been seeing that on your page. Like, yeah, people been real about that pickleball.
Man, it's a lot of fun. I'm not, I love basketball. I always loved basketball since I was like 6 years old, but my body it just can't take on as much as it used to. So like
Hmm.
I'm still a competitor at heart. So I wanted to find me something that I could do that could be physically active and enjoyable and competitive. And like I would say these past 3.5 weeks or so, I've gotten into pickleball and I'm still learning. I'm not that good right
Yeah.
now, but like I really want to be really good at it. So,
Okay.
last
That's
night,
that competitive side, y'all.
yeah,
Like, look, I gotta
last
get
night,
this.
last night I was able to go to a class, pickleball class, and just free play, and I was there for like 3 hours. Like if I was
Wow.
still on that collegiate level, I wouldn't have had time to do that, to be honest with you.
Mm,
So, yeah, it's just a lot of different things that I
I
get to
love
do
it.
that I'm interested in, just having more time.
No, I love that because the biggest thing that we forget about is the mindset of it, the mental health part on
Mhm.
it. And me being a mental health and mental performance coach, I'm so prone on that. And that's one of the reasons I stopped coaching basketball because I felt like it was taking up so much, but I wasn't getting into my purpose.
Yeah.
Yes, we had winning teams, but when I look back on a couple of girls, I'm like, dang God, could I have done more mentally with them than what I did? Because we are that role models, especially as women. A lot of these girls come to looking for their mother figure, just like the boys come, they come looking for us.
Yeah.
So now that you are there, and like you said, you're pouring into them, but you have to pour into yourself too. So
Yeah.
pickleball is one. What is some other self-care that you do? Because I see you do a lot of things, but what is some other stuff that you do for yourself just to be like, man, I gotta chill out?
So I've working out, obviously, I have picked up pickleball, but working out is another outlet for me. Even
Mm-hmm.
if it's just a good hard 25 to 30 minutes, like it helps me mentally. Having some quiet time in the mornings, where I just journal a little bit, or I do a devotion, a Bible devotion plan. I pray. Like that's been a huge for me these past couple of years, on just
Awesome.
starting my day out right. You know what I mean? Um, those two are huge. Um, Along with just finding that balance with even my family, like even just spending time with my husband, doing different things, whether it's date nights or trying a new activity out, or watching a movie together. That's another big outlet for me because he's really my best friend. Um,
Love it.
like I said, I still do photography. I just pick and choose now. Based on like my availability, what weekends or what days I want to maybe book a shoot or something like that. I just had a really good shoot Saturday morning, which was my first one in like a month or so, and it was really good. It's a release for me,
So
you know.
you gotta tell me what camera you using. What camera? What camera? What's your camera?
I got a Canon R. I'm a Canon girl. I got that R.
Canon too. That's another thing. That's why I felt it. Y'all gotta understand. Not only do we have the lock energy, but the camera too. I do photography too as a hobby,
Okay.
but more street and just stuff in the community. I'm big on that. I was doing all the pictures, but
Yeah.
that editing ain't for me no more. So
See,
yeah.
editing, man, see, editing, that's another outlet for me. Like that, it
See,
makes me just lock in, and that's all I focus on. And I really love, I'm
wow.
like, how can I make this look the best it can be? So I use that part of the process of photography as an outlet for me too.
I
Yeah.
love it. I love it. So yeah, that right there slight different because all that you do yet? Can you make my stomach look like this? Nah, baby. If you went to the
Oh,
gym, this how it gonna look.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you
I
on
can
that.
do some stuff, but I can't work mirror because that's only God right there. I can't
Yeah.
do that.
Hey, I'm with you on that. I'm with you.
Yeah,
I like people to look at you look best in your natural form, and I just try to,
definitely.
I don't do too much of that kind of stuff. I just let me make sure the coloring right. Let me make sure this look good. The details are in focus. All of that. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Definitely. And along with all those great things you're doing, you got a courageous eating background. So tell me about that. What's up with all that of how did you come to the area just saying, I want to eat healthy and I want to eat more vegetables and fruits? What did that come from?
Man, it's honestly, so I do teach PE and health, and honestly, I've always had an interest in just trying to be the best version of myself, like trying to eat healthy. I've been watching some YouTubes. It's this holistic doctor. It's a black guy, and he has so much valuable information
Hmm.
on his videos. But I kind of got into juicing a couple years ago, which was huge. Just I ended up investing in a really good juicer, and then just researching. To be honest with you, if you just research about some of the stuff that we eat and like the
Yeah.
effects on the body, like your body is your temple. Like I want to be as healthy as possible, for as
Hmm.
long as possible. Like I seen a video of this lady. She had to be in her 90s, and she was like jogging or something like that. I seen that video maybe about 5 or 6 years ago, and it kind of motivated me. Like I want to be that. I want to be healthy. I want to be able to be mobile. I want to be able to still be active as long as
Definitely.
possible, like well into my older age. So I just try to like do things now that are kind of aid in that process. So like sometimes, I may go without eating meat for about 21 days, 28 days, or I may only eat meat a couple times a week, or I may make sure I juice the first 3 days of the week.
Mhm.
I try not to do it all at one time, all like a lot of different things at one time. I just try to do stuff in moderation. And I've felt the benefits of it. Like I sleep better whenever I do eat
Okay.
better. I think more clearly. I don't have as many.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? I don't feel as bloated sometimes. It's a lot of just benefits to eating
So
healthy.
how do you do that balance though? Like just to say, you know what, I'm gonna be all out in this. Like, how do you do it for somebody that's trying? And yeah, I'm speaking myself too. So how do you do that and just be like, this is what I'm about to do?
So sometimes it really is from like whenever I want to do a fast, or like whenever I don't feel as close to the Holy Spirit and I feel like I need to do a fast, then I will make up my mind like, all right, I'm finna do this for 21 days. And it's really all in preparation. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like
Definitely.
go ahead and plan out, okay, if you're starting on a Monday and you know you gonna stop eating meat for like 21 days, which is very hard, go ahead and think about some stuff that you can eat. Like think about the vegetables, think about the different meals you can create, the grocery list, or for instance, if you want to juice, still eat whatever, but you want to make some fresh juice, go ahead and get all of those fruits that you're going to need and set aside a day and a time to go ahead and juice. That way you're good for the
Mhm.
rest of the week. um a lot of things that's well, a couple things that's helped me as far as just trying to eat healthy is I've researched the benefits of just like not eating after 8 and not eating before like noon. It has been a
Mhm.
game changer for me these past 3 weeks. It's just
I'm not gonna tell you, and I don't want to cut you off. That's funny because I just started this week.
okay, let's go.
I just started, so I'm doing 11 to 8.
Yeah,
But I'm gonna be honest, it's been up and down, and
yeah,
man, it's only Wednesday. But I said I'm focused, and that's why I'm asking. It's just crazy how the universe works, because I'm like, I'm doing this, and I'm doing no beef or pork. I'm only doing chicken and fish, and
chicken.
I'm doing it for the whole month of June.
Yeah.
So it's like in my mind, I'm like, okay, and being a athlete, I'm like, girl, you got this, you got this.
Mhm.
But then I got out and I seen Iris, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah,
And they got a meal too. And the people know me from coming so much. So they're like, we ain't seeing you. And I'm like, I can't do it.
yeah.
So just doing that part, like you said, you have to be strong into it, but you've been doing it for a minute though.
I have, and I don't do it like all, sometimes I have I have my moments where I do eat, I may eat bad. Like this weekend, I feel like I ate so bad. So I wanted to go into this week trying to be better. So I haven't ate meat all week so far. I know it's Wednesday. But let me ask you this, since you just started, what made you want to do it? What's your why behind
I wanted to just be better altogether. Like I teach about mental health, I teach about mindset to athletes, and my focus is how can I provide that information if I'm not healed and I'm not whole.
it?
And
Mhm.
also being an athlete, I know I feel so much better
Yeah.
when I'm just exercising, I'm working out, and I'm doing everything. And I want to get back to that feeling. And I feel like you said, mentally, if your body is feeling good, your out gonna look good. You're gonna be able to put more out, and I'm searching for that next level with me doing everything in my journey as a mental performance coach. Like I know it's another level, but I gotta tap into it. And I
Yeah.
feel like I gotta start with this. So that's kind of been my why, to just be better for everyone else by being better for myself.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. That's all you got. Just keep that in that forefront, and then the preparation. Like, go ahead and make you some. Like right now, what today's Wednesday, so Monday I went and got a lot of fruit and stuff, and I cut everything up. I got them in Ziploc bags. I got them in my little glass
Mm,
storage things. So whenever I want to snack or something, I got me some snacks. That's my fruit. Trail mix. That's another really good source that'll kind of keep you full a little bit, but it's healthy for you. Just having some snack bags of that kind of stuff, but long as you can like prepare and have that kind of stuff with you, you can bypass the Arby's, the whatever, because you
yeah,
got your why up here and you got everything that you need already. You know what I mean? So
definitely.
even that meal prep, like I made this Mexican dish that didn't have any meat, but I use a lot of mushrooms. That's kind of like my meat supplement.
Okay.
And it was
Noted.
I cooked that on Monday and we finished that up today. So like I've had some good a healthy meal that didn't have any meat in it, but it was already cooked, and like all I got to do is
Right.
heat it up. I got some avocados in there you keep some avocados in a jar of water in your fridge, they'll last. Because some people, I didn't know that if we buy avocados, I don't know if you eat them, but if you just leave them out, they'll rot fast. But if you put them in some water,
A lot of that, yeah.
put it in the fridge, man, they'll last for at least a couple weeks. But just having that kind of stuff
Hmm.
already in your fridge or prepared, it's gonna be a lot easier to like
Yeah.
do what you want
And
to
that's what I gotta do. I was like, look, I gotta start having my lunch bag with me when I go places so I can just
do.
reach over. And like yesterday, I had a meeting, and so that kind of happened. I had to run out. So I'm running out. I was like, oh man, I got some crackers and stuff here. So instead of going to Burger King, I got my crackers.
Yep.
So that was one of my things. And like you said, I'm like, okay, I gotta get there too because it's just something that I want to be able to say I did something else and stuck to it,
Mm-hmm.
but I know it's needed. It's just needed,
Yeah.
for you guys out there, especially if you're doing anything that takes a lot of mental out of you and force out of you, having your body acclimated to that has to happen. Like you
Yeah.
have to be ready for it because you're gonna get thrown with so many things. And with that being said, I want to go back, Bob Jones, one of the top schools. What
Mm-hmm.
are some of the challenges, if you can? And I always say if you can, because we got to understand, these are our young ladies, these are babies in schools that we work at. But what are just some challenges you may have, faced just being a high school female coach on that aspect?
It's a lot of different challenges and barriers, as a head high school coach. One, you got a different group of girls each year that you're trying to get on
Mhm.
the same page. You know what I mean? That in itself
Definitely.
is a tall task because you got a lot
Mhm.
of different personalities, a lot of different backgrounds, but you're trying to,
Attitudes.
yep,
Yes, Lord.
they're teenagers, so they up and down. So you're trying to get all of them to buy into the team above themselves in a time where it's so easy to be so
Mm.
selfish, to only be consumed with self. So that's a tall task. Um, the also just focusing not just on basketball, like how can I really that's a part of my purpose is like helping these girls grow on and off the court. So
Yes.
what else can I give them besides some X's and O's that's gonna really prepare them for the next stage of
Hmm.
life?
Hmm.
Which I've got something really good in place that I do with my girls that I think is really good. But you still have to stay on them and make sure, hold them accountable and make sure they're
Right.
really trying to be a better person. Um, that getting everybody that's involved in the program, from parents to administrators to your staff to the girls, all on one page, that's a tall task because even with the parents, everybody's different. Everybody mindsets may be different from each other, but we all want the same thing from this team,
Right.
from these girls. So having that unity amongst everybody and learning
Hmm.
how to create that, learning how to not burn yourself out because you can't. Honestly, I'll be honest, like you can't save them all. Like that was a huge
Ooh.
lesson that I had to learn when I was at Homewood, and I'm still learning that now at Bob Jones. But man, as coaches, especially young coaches, we want to help these kids as much as possible, but at the same token, it's so much. It can be so much. You know what I mean?
Yes.
That you'll burn yourself out trying to save them all. You just not.
Most definitely.
And just learning that and just knowing that, like you're not gonna
Hmm.
save them all, and it's okay. That's okay. Like you just do the best you can, because no matter what you say to these girls, if you know that it's good and it's in your heart and that it can help them, some may take it, some may not. You know what I mean?
Right. Most definitely. You're gonna have a lot of that. And like you said, you're gonna learn it in the groups as you go. I think all of us, if we're doing something like this, you come in saying, I want to help everybody, I want to save everyone, I want to be that superwoman. Then you slowly find out my superwoman ain't for everybody. My
Mhm.
voice and my sheep are totally different for some, and I got to be okay with that. And
Yeah.
I love that you said that because I had the pleasure of talking to Bishop State head coach. Shout out to Adria Harris. I know she go check in. Yeah, so had the pleasure of her on the podcast, and we talked about that of how it's so difficult for when these young girls come to college, because their mind frame is not there because of the high school. But
Mhm.
as you said, you are one of the coaches that you're going to go all in, you're going to put that in the coaches
Mhm.
staff and the girls, but it's some that's just not going to take it
Yeah.
and can't. So me and her talked about one of the things, and I know I'm saying it on here, but one of the things that I'm working on is having a conference in a place where we can combine the high school and college coaches, because a lot of the college coaches are like, the kids are not ready when they come to us. What
Yeah.
are the high school doing? And the high school coaches are like, we're doing it. But it's just they're not there. So
Yeah.
I want us to be able to bridge that gap for the better of these female athletes, especially now with the NIL deals and so much going on. Because a
Mhm.
lot of these girls, like you said, are looking at, it's me. I
Yeah.
gotta shine for me. So they're not really looking at the team on there. So
Yeah.
it's so huge, but people don't know it's huge even more on your shoulders as a coach,
Yeah.
because you're hearing all this, on that aspect. So if you can, what are some ways, or do you kind of focus on pushing your girls to that college level? Like, is your practice like that? I'm sure it is, because I seen your demeanor on your page. So do you already practice them to that level of collegiate?
Yeah, I try to make my practices as competitive as possible, and almost as much as a game as possible. So like when I do give them a break in practice, it's like a full timeout. They got 60 seconds to get some water and then be back on to whatever baseline sideline that we're on, doing whatever drill that we're doing.
Mm,
But I really try to push them to really value practice, because that's where we gonna improve. And like I would say this summer, we got a really talented group of girls, and like I was telling them, just because we're so talented, don't mean that we're gonna be the best. Like we gotta really work for it here in practice. Like y'all gotta challenge each other in practice so
definitely.
that everybody can improve. So I try to, every drill that we do has some level of competitiveness to it. Um,
Hmm.
and I think that's helped us so much these past couple of years, just trying to make our practices more competitive and hold them accountable. Like, I
Definitely.
want them to leave practice feeling like, man, I need to go home and take a nap because I didn't poured everything out. I didn't gave everything on this court. I'm tired. I didn't
I
win.
love it.
You know what I'm saying? I didn't competed with my teammates. Like I be wanting them to empty that tank, every practice that we have. So, and then I try to have as many real conversations with them as possible because we got some girls that's gonna play on the next level. And with my experience on playing at the next level and coaching at the next level, like I try to talk to them about that kind of stuff as much as possible on what it's gonna take. You
I
know,
love it.
so those are like the two main things that I
No,
do.
I love it. Like you said, being competitive all the way through, because I was one of those big coaches too. If you walk on me at practice, you're gonna walk on me in the game. So I
Mhm.
need to make sure that at all times you moving and you on that head swivel,
Yeah.
when it comes to that. And with that being said, I love what you said of talking to them. So
Mhm.
what is some mental or self-care that you provide to your student athletes? It may not be, and I always tell, because coaches be like, don't put me on the spot, but this is what I want. Why I have the mental game, that if coaches don't start doing that, implement that self care and mental piece, and I know you've already said it, because after sports,
Mhm.
sometimes it ain't nothing else left for the kids. So, what are some things that you do on that level?
So we um we do try to run this just like the next level. So we don't just like do basketball. Like, I'll give you an example of our day yesterday. We had practice for 2 hours. We had film where we watched film for about 30, 40 minutes. And I don't just watch the film with them and like I'm telling them everything. No, I ask them questions like what do y'all see right here? What were you thinking on this play, to get them thinking and keep them engaged so that they can like, learn, with
Definitely.
each other as well. And then after that, like 30, 40 minute segment of film, we hit the weight room for another 45 minutes or so. So it's like it's not just one thing, you know what I mean? And then we spend a good amount of time with just foam rolling, stretching. I talked to them a good bit about just the importance of nutrition. My strength and conditioning coach, he talks to them a lot about that as well, just trying to get them to think, more, because some you'll be surprised at like how many teenagers don't really eat, and they don't
Yeah,
realize.
I've seen some of your videos of them talking about what you eat.
Yeah, like it's just, some of them, like they may know we have a hard 2-hour morning practice coming up, but they'll get up and just show up and then be confused why they may have a headache, or why they
Mhm.
super gas so quick. And it's like just getting them to buy into that too. And then some other stuff that we do like throughout preseason, the season, and even in the spring is like we really work on that off the court piece, where they get to choose different value areas that they feel like they need to grow in. So I have like a value bank, and then it may be like, you know what, I need to work on my communication. Like I'm not a good communicator. Like I don't really talk. So whatever that value is, they will have to do an action each week, so that they're actually working
Doing
on
that
getting better.
communication.
Yeah, yeah.
Coaches, she giving y'all game, coaches. She giving y'all game on some things to do now.
Yeah, and
I
it's
love
it's
it.
it's been really good. And sometimes, a lot of times, we do that individually. So they may pick four areas they know they need to work on, like personally. Like it may be their
Mhm.
faith, it may be just being more consistent, it may be their work ethic or their
Yeah,
attitude.
yeah.
And I help them come up with different specific actions for their value, and then each week they'll be working on it. And then sometimes we may do it as a team, like
Definitely.
this spring we talked a lot about just faith over fear. We talked about gratitude, and we just had like a classroom sessions on those two things, and then like actions for that week that related to those things. And we come
I
together
love
as
it.
a group and everybody can share, like, so that was really good for us too. But
I love it.
that off the court piece is huge, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It shows them that you care about them more than just basketball. Like that's
And
what,
that's the biggest thing.
yeah, that's gonna make the
Yeah.
difference.
Oh my gosh, like you said, that's the biggest part, showing them that you care. And I
Mhm.
always tell people, I still got kids now that I've coached that have run through a brick wall for me
Yeah.
because I showed them that I care. I
Mhm.
invested time with them on the court and off the court, and I still have that relationship with them
Yeah.
because once you get into this position that God allow you to be over,
Mhm.
you there.
Yeah.
And you got to have that role and responsibility because he's putting you to feel somebody voice that needs to hear you. So I
Mhm.
take it so serious. And when I coach, I took it so serious. And now with this, because people need to hear that voice. Like I said, and there's some young girls crying and just want somebody to holler at them. And as a coach, I know you have this certain kids that love you to death that you know they're gonna pick with you, gonna say something to you or taunt you just
Yep.
because they want that interaction or they want you to say something to them.
Yep.
Even when they wrong, they gonna get mad and come back. Man, coach.
Yep.
I mean,
That's so true.
they want that from you, and even when you're not doing well or feeling well, they gonna ask you, "What's wrong with you today, coach?"
Yep.
Like
Are they gonna
they
say, "You
are
all right,
looking
coach? You good?"
right.
Yep.
They looking for that emotional aspect from you to get to that next level because they know I'm gonna get something for coach. Whether if she hollering or yelling at me, she's still communicating to me because I feel love. And I
Mhm.
say that because I know I was that player that had so many things I was battling with at home, physically and mentally,
Yeah.
not want to be at home. But sports was my outlet. That was my peace.
Mhm.
So I love to go in the gym. I love to be up under my coach when practice was in. And I was like, "Oh, for what?" And like you said, we were like, man, we just been here 4 hours. Man, I
Yeah.
just want to shoot around. Somebody want to play 21 just because I want to be in that presence. And as a coach, you like, look, I'm about to turn off these damn lights. It's
Yeah.
time to go. But they want that, and that's that love, as coaches that we have to pour and we have to give. And so again, with that journey, what do you see for your girls going into this new year? Like what is your expectations and where do you see them going?
This
Bob
yeah, this is a big year for us. I have four seniors that's been with me their whole 4 years, really towards at
Jones.
the end of their eighth grade year, I pulled them up. So well, three of them I pulled up, then I had one transfer in. But man, I'm expecting a big year from us. I've made our schedule a lot tougher. We're gonna be traveling some different places. We're gonna be playing in a national tournament in Phoenix. You know, I'm expecting my girls to really buy into our core value, team yourself more than anything this year.
Yeah.
Just whatever's best for a team. Because like I said, we got a really talented group, but we got to team ourselves. You know what I'm saying? We got to put the team first, and that's all
Mhm.
they got to. That's all that needs to matter to us. You know, we've 2 years in a row we went to a regional championship and we've lost. We haven't made it to the final four, so that's a big goal of ours. But the biggest thing I'm expecting is everybody to just put team yourself first and really buy into just growing, you know, growing all
Mhm.
on and off the court together and having
Yeah.
fun with it. Like this should be a very memorable year for
Yeah.
us all, you know. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope my seniors really like don't take any day for granted and like this will be their best, their most memorable high school year, you know. And then even
Mhm.
my younger girls, like them just maturing and growing up a little bit and just, you know, enjoying this like this team that we got. Like, cause
Right.
that's what kids don't understand, man. This stuff goes by so fast that like you gotta embrace every day, every moment and like not take
Every second, yes.
yeah, not take it for granted. So it should be a fun year, a competitive group of girls, and I'm just looking forward to them being locked in, focused, and then buying into each other, like putting
You
each
know,
other.
I'm excited for it. I'm excited for you guys. Just hearing you saying that,
Yeah,
for coaches, if y'all know, she said for seniors. So and you had them, so they already some dogs. So the
yeah,
expectation is nothing less but great on that scale pole of them. It's like y'all should need know each other hair on the back. Like it's
mhm,
a whole nother level. So I'm expecting and want to see greatness. I'm excited for you because I know you pouring into them. Just hearing you,
thank
it's like who would not want to be a player up under you and have you as a coach to be able to go for bat for you. So definitely like y'all look out for Bob Jones. Y'all get ready. Man, I've been talking to some amazing coaches. So hearing you, shout out to Parker, Coach 2, Coach Sled. So I know she's getting ready for Parker too. So she's been
you.
hearing it. So we got some amazing girl basketball games and I'm on that rim. That's why I'm getting healthy and fit y'all too. Cause I'm in the midst. I'm gonna be traveling because I want to come and support all you
Yeah.
guys in the avenues and things that y'all doing to see the continued growth in women basketball because man, it's
Mhm.
here.
Yeah.
If anything, I tell people what LSU did and the money
Mhm.
that they bringing in, the sky even is the limit of what can be going on as female athletes as we continue to just push ourselves, empower each other, and grow together.
Yeah.
It's so much that we can knock down, like so
Mhm.
much. And always powerful words. And I'm gonna leave with this, y'all, because we really been going in on this. Like we can go on and on. I'm gonna have to get you back on when the season start.
Yeah.
But one thing for some middle school girls that are looking to go to that high school level, what are some words that you want to lead them with, especially if they say, oh, that's Bob Jones, coach, I want to play for her. What are some words that you want to tell them to get their self prepared and ready for that level?
I would say you gotta have truly have a desire for this game. You know, some kids you just maybe like it, but once you get to that high school level, especially a big school like a 7A school, it's gonna require more than just liking basketball. You need to have a deep desire for your growth as a basketball player and just as a player, a person in general, and just be ready for whatever challenges that's gonna come, you know. But if you got a desire, like if you really, really love this, like you will be able to make it. I really do believe that. You're gonna put in the work, you're gonna put in extra work, you're gonna be
Mhm.
coachable, you're gonna have a good attitude, and you gonna embrace you're gonna be ready for it, you know. But
I love it.
if you just kinda like it, you're trying to go to a 7A school, a good program, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be
Mhm.
tough. So just
Gotta put
really
that work.
you know, just have that desire for the game and even if it's like not just basketball, but a desire for being a part of something bigger than yourself, that'll help you too. You
Mm.
know, it ain't all about just how talented or skilled you are. It's just your desire to want to be a part of something bigger than yourself. Um, I think that'll help you and go a long way.
I love it. Y'all gotta have the desire. Y'all
Mhm.
have the desire and let it flow. Have
Yeah.
the desire and let it flow and allow it to be, you guys. I truly, truly enjoyed you for blessing the stage. You have been amazing. I know y'all got some gems because I did, on that aspect of it. But as we wrap up here again, she will be back. Don't worry, you guys, because I already know y'all like, hold up, we want to get some more information. So we will be back. We will be keeping up with the games and everything going on as well. Also, check out our stores. You're going to see that. I know y'all just had a camp that passed, but y'all have things going on during the summer. So we want to make sure we keep y'all updated with things too. But y'all know what it is. It's talkers versus doers. And as always, don't just talk about change. Go out there and be a dual positive change.